Welcome. The following presentation is our proposed FY 2020 strategic plan for Family Promise of Montgomery County. Our project team is Abby Johnson, Ashley Yarborough, and Brian Cosgrove. This project is the capstone for our strategic planning course this semester. We have divided our presentation into 3 parts, narrated by each team member. There's a lot of material to cover in a short period of time, so let us begin. As we've already stated, our partner for this project was Family Promise of Montgomery County. Family Promise is located in Conroe, Texas. Our primary contact was Marilyn Kazmierski, the executive director. Founded in 2001, Family Promise of Montgomery County is a faith-based 501c3 nonprofit organization that supports families who are experiencing homelessness as they search for new jobs, undergo job training, and obtain permanent housing. Family Promise of Montgomery County is an affiliate of Family Promise National, which began in New Jersey in 1986. For the purpose of this presentation, we will be referring to Family Promise of Montgomery County as simply Family Promise. The current mission of Family Promise is to serve homeless families with children by uniting faith communities in a cooperative effort to provide shelter, meals, transportation, and compassionate assistance leading to independence. The current vision of Family Promise is to alleviate homelessness for families with children in Montgomery County, Texas. Family Promise believes strong families build strong communities, and their goal is to strengthen families and enable them to become self-sufficient and stable. The current range of programs offered by Family Promise include the Home to Home program, which is a 90-day shelter program to stabilize homeless families and their children, the Reaching Our Children program, which provides support and guidance to children entering the Family Promise program, Cargo, or Keeping Autos Reliable, Gas and Oil, which assists with transportation needs, the Education program, which provides financial support to families wanting to pursue further education or certifications, and the Aftercare and Outreach program, which extends resources and referral services to individuals and families who are not currently participating with Family Promise. Our objective when working with Family Promise was to grasp a firm understanding of their current goals and aspirations and build a sustainable plan to assist in the growth of the organization. We focused on the primary needs of the organization, which included a physical location to house families and a focused plan for growing staff and finances. It is our hope that our strategic plan will provide a clear and achievable path towards the organization's short and long-term goals. The process we used for our project was an 8-step approach, which included the following: a face-to-face meeting with Marilyn Kazmierski to discuss strategic planning at Family Promise and to get a sense of the current goals and vision. We obtained authorization from both the executive director and board president to partner with Family Promise in support of their strategic planning process. We reviewed the current Family Promise approach to strategic planning based on their January 2020 board meeting minutes. We reviewed the current mission and vision statements for possible modification in support of the strategic plan. We performed a SOAR analysis based on current strengths and aspirations within their organization. We developed a logic model as a foundation for the planning process. We also developed a lean business model to identify key information and performance indicators. And finally, we established a set of SMART goals to prioritize actions required for the success of the plan. Although the mission and vision statements were previously revised by Family Promise, we reviewed these statements from a strategic planning standpoint to ensure they align with the future goals and vision of the organization. When evaluating the mission statement of Family Promise, we noticed that it did a great job of stating the partnership with faith communities, which is obviously a large part of their current operations. It gave an explanation of what the organization did for the families they serve, and we liked that it mentioned the overall end goal of independence. While evaluating potential changes that could be made, there were 3 possible modifications that came to the forefront of our team discussions. First, while we liked that the original statement listed some clear things that Family Promise does for their clients, we felt that it also excluded a lot. We knew that Family Promise helps the families with a wide array of needs, and so we broadened that portion to read that the organization is helping the families holistically. Second, we felt that a potential added focus might include wording to explain that the goal of the organization is not just to provide that independence, but more specifically, to help the families achieve a sustainable way of work in the future. And finally, we added a small portion to include that the organization is providing the necessary tools to achieve sustainable self-sufficiency, because we know that while the organization provides basic necessities, there are many broader resources offered, or in the plans to be offered, such as GED help, and we felt that this wording would be inclusive enough to ensure that the mission stays relevant as the organization's programs grow. As we reviewed the vision statement, we wanted to look at a simpler way of explaining the organization. We know that one of the struggles the organization has is getting potential partners to look past the stigma of homelessness and understand why their program is different. Of course, we know that the vision of the organization is a world without homelessness. However, what we love about Family Promise is that it offers a unique approach to the situation. While many organizations that battle homelessness offer temporary things, such as food or shelter, Family Promise goes a step beyond and provides resources to ensure that the families being served are able to obtain and maintain independence. Additionally, we know that Family Promise is not just looking to help families survive, the goal is for the families to thrive. For these reasons, we wanted to update the vision statement to reflect the big picture way of work that the organization functions under, while including that key word, thrive.
Our team chose to perform a SOAR analysis since Family Promise already had an appreciative inquiry approach to their organization and the families they serve. Through acknowledging their strengths and assets, we were able to build a process based on the aspirations and expected results. When evaluating the strengths of the organization, some that stuck out to us were the uniqueness of Family Promise's 90-day program, the passion for growing the organization shared by the staff and board members, the positive image of the organization as a whole, the diverse and heavily involved board members, and the large existing network of churches and community partners. For opportunities, we recognized the potential to grow the staff, volunteer, and board members' comfortability in selling and marketing the organization by utilizing resources such as Cornerstone on-demand classes, the development growth potential to build on current partner lists and tap into unreached resources, the potential for expanding staff and board members in order to improve on current ways of work within the organization, including adding interns and an administrative staff, as well as board members that include missing fields, as well as former clients of the organization, expanding church partnerships, and expanding social media presence to include an Instagram with the same level of activity as the Facebook page and the potential addition of a blog. When looking at the aspirations of Family Promise, we identified 3 core goals: to secure a permanent host site and all that comes with obtaining that, to mitigate the stigma of homelessness in Montgomery County, and to build on the building and resource capacity that would allow for increases in programs and other impactful items for the families being served. Finally, we set out desired results for the organization, which are to increase development funding by $250,000 a year, to grow community partnerships by 5 a year, to increase church host sites by 2 per year, and to perform an annual host site partner survey to determine best practices currently in place and build suggestions for partnership improvement. When we began to look at a logic model, we wanted to not only lay out a clear evaluation of Family Promise's way of work, but also provide a resource that could be used to guide grant applications. Additionally, this information may be used in the future to determine the usefulness or need for current or future programming opportunities. When identifying a key focus point for the organization, we settled on acquiring a physical location capable of housing client families. We knew that having this need met would allow Family Promise to increase the number of families they are able to serve at one time without the current restrictions in place due to reliance on church partnerships. Additionally, this would give the opportunity to build and maintain additional community and faith-based partnerships in a broader sense, as the organization would be able to move focus away from finding those partners based on a housing need. Finally, the reduction in costs for hotel rooms would allow Family Promise to put more funding into expanding program resources and fill those needs that help truly provide skills needed to thrive in life beyond the Family Promise program. When examining the organization's way of work, it was helpful to break down what it is that Family Promise invests into the causes they serve. We knew that the organization and its members are investing time and money into the cause, typically a substantial amount. The organization is also investing in terms of staff and volunteers. The staff and volunteers that are working within Family Promise are passionate and committed to the cause, and the board members who volunteer their time are a huge asset to the organization. The organization is also providing basic necessities such as bedding, toiletries, food and water, clothing, and essential resources to students. Finally, the organization is investing into the children they are serving with things such as toys and games. By investing into these internal resources, Family Promise is able to focus on providing shelter to homeless families with children, providing educational resources to both youth and adult students, providing life skills classes and trainings that help families grow in their understanding of things such as budgeting and job searching skills, assisting children in the program with their basic school needs, and providing a safe, spiritual, and positive environment that helps make a devastating situation a more positive one for all involved. Finally, we looked at the positive outcomes that would arise from a Family Promise owned housing facility. In the short term, we see several less tangible but still incredibly important changes. Family Promise would be able to rely less on their faith community partners for housing and would be able to focus more on building broader and more open community and faith-based partners instead. This would provide a whole new set of open doors as far as partners go that could be adapted as the organization learns a new way of work. In the medium term, several things would change for the clients being served. The families in the program would participate in more programming and life skills classes, as the organization would have the means to provide more of these programming opportunities. Additionally, the clients would focus more on the actions they need to take to get back on their feet, as they would be living in a more stable environment and feeling more secure in their situation by staying in one location. Finally, the long-term impact on the community conditions. As a result of the improved ways of work, there would be less homeless families without aid in Montgomery County, and an increase in the level of independence and sustainability achieved by the families in the program, which then allows them to serve and thrive in Montgomery County in bigger ways once they are out of the program. If a physical location were obtained, Family Promise could easily evaluate the positive impact on the organization in tangible terms. First, the organization would evaluate the number of families being served monthly and annually now versus in the new way of work. Additionally, we recommend that the organization conduct an evaluation of families as they exit the program to survey their satisfaction with the organization and its programs and services, as well as any new skills, understandings, or confidences that were obtained during their time in the program. This will not only help the organization be able to evaluate what areas they are excelling in and what areas may need to be altered, but it would additionally provide data that can be used when speaking to potential partners or applying for grants.
Next, we developed the Lean Business Model, which is essentially an internal roadmap for Family Promise. This model identifies key topics from the initial challenges the organization is facing to the proposed solutions. It also positions the organization as unique by communicating its value and competitive advantage. Utilizing this particular framework, we were able to reflect on current processes and how those were attempting to solve the identified challenges. We also developed modes of measurement for the proposed solutions and created a potential slogan for which we felt encompassed the organization's ultimate goal. Finally, this model included a fixed and variable cost breakdown and revenue structure, both of which utilized content from Family Promise's most recent 990. Based on research and communication with Ms. Kosmierski, we identified 3 primary challenges for which the organization faces. First, there is no existing permanent host site. Clients are currently having to transition between sites, leave during certain hours of the day, therefore experiencing a less stabilized housing situation. Second, there is limited development and funding, which ultimately reduces the number of families that can be served by the organization. And third, existing staff is too limited to adequately support clients and organizational operations. 3 alternatives exist to managing those challenges. First, temporary host sites with local churches are being used to host families. Second, Facebook advertising, fundraisers, the national-based website, staff and board fundraising what they can, and some donations currently comprise the organization's development efforts. And third, board and staff take on a variety of duties and responsibilities. In order to improve existing resolutions to the identified challenges, 3 primary objectives were developed for Family Promise. First, the organization can improve how their image is portrayed to potential supporters so that they may increase funding available for the permanent host site and organizational impact. Second, Family Promise can utilize free educational resources to support staff, board, and interns in their operational and developmental efforts. Third, Family Promise can expand staff, intern, and board positions to reduce the workload for current staff and board. In addition to proposing solutions, the lean business model also enabled our team to develop a potential tagline for Family Promise's use in marketing. We believe this tagline, which is Foundations for Families, both reinforces the organization's mission and purpose and can assist the organization in creating a memorable brand with the community. Next, we developed a SMART-based action plan for Family Promise with 5 specific goals that we believe will be key to the success of Family Promise's strategic planning efforts. SMART goals are goals that are specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based. They are also able to provide clear objectives to guide the planning process. With regards to deadlines and timelines associated with these goals and action items, the majority of our actions focus on the establishment of the strategic plan's foundation. The established deadlines require completion in the first quarter of the fiscal year plan in order to provide forward momentum. Once this foundation is in place, however, Family Promise can establish further goals, including the completion of the host site plan. Monthly review of the goals should be completed during the board meetings, and any timeline adjustments should be made based on the completion status. The following 5 overall goals were developed as primary objective points for Family Promise. Each goal is broken down into multi-step applications for which the organization can take in order to achieve their desired results, and each of these will be discussed in more detail on the slides that follow. So one of the key challenges the organization faces is being able to communicate with potential partners without hitting speed bumps due to large misunderstandings about homelessness. Therefore, our first goal is to improve the organizational image in order to enhance Family Promise's development strategy. First, Family Promise can increase their social media presence. While their Facebook content is effective, eye-catching, and current, steps could be taken to expand Instagram and Twitter, followed by a potential expansion towards blogging later on. A blog could potentially serve as a resource to families served through offering helpful tips. Second, the mission and vision could be modified. Condensing and clarifying each of these statements can aid in improving organizational image and the identification by potential donors. Third, the organization can increase brand awareness through the use of a catchphrase or tagline. Creating a collective marketing slogan will be beneficial in attracting donors and garnering their interest. Fourth, Family Promise is currently transitioning to the national-based website. However, by adding more content on the program information and services offered, the organization can improve the quality and delivery of their purpose. And fifth, Family Promise can reframe their marketing and development efforts around a positive storytelling approach by adopting the above considerations and an affirmative angle for reaching potential stakeholders. Goal 2 is to expand focus and expertise in development and management. We believe these steps will increase fundraising success in the current list of donors. First, Cornerstone On Demand Foundation offers lessons in a variety of nonprofit-based subjects, including a lesson on storytelling. It's a really great resource that all members of the team could utilize in enhancing their development and management expertise. Second, Ms. Kazmierski mentioned that she has a list of people that could be contacted as potential donors and supporters. So utilizing this list, as well as reaching out to new contacts, both individual and corporate sponsor contacts, would be beneficial for the organization's growth objectives. Next, one key topic we felt the organization needed to place focus towards is hiring additional board members and staff. This can be achieved by taking the following actions. First, Family Promise can recruit board members for which represent previous clients served. We feel this action would be an excellent addition to the board as they can provide unique insight to the needs of the families being served, as well as serve as a valuable resource for sharing the importance of the organization to potential donors and partners. Second, Family Promise can recruit unpaid interns. Many students need academic credit as well as entry-level experience, so part-time and internship roles could be really good fit for these individuals. And third, the organization can hire an executive assistant. This could be part-time or full-time depending on the fiscal ability of the organization, but would be helpful in minimizing the overload of duties currently taken on by the staff and board. Our fourth goal is to increase community partnerships. This comes in 2 parts. First, by reaching out to local businesses to find those willing to donate services such as tutoring or life skills related classes. And second, Family Promise would network with nonprofits who serve a related goal to see where services can be shared and compare resources and ways of work. This gives Family Promise the opportunity to compare to other similar organizations, as well as to find areas where work can be outsourced to related nonprofits. Finally, our fifth goal is to expand relationships with current host sites. Until a permanent location is secured, it's imperative for Family Promise to make the most of the current partnerships. This can be done by reaching out to existing host sites to evaluate steps that can be taken to maintain and strengthen those relationships. Additionally, Family Promise needs to increase the network of host sites with the data discovered so that they can continue to grow and serve additional families.
So, what's the next step? Our complete strategic planning report and associated documents will be provided to the Family Promise team for full review and consideration. Our hope is that this plan can serve as both a guide and framework which Family Promise can utilize in moving forward towards increased impact, a permanent host site, and long-term fiscal sustainability. We would like to thank Marilyn Kazmierski, the Board of Directors, and the staff at Family Promise for allowing our team to contribute to the success of their strategic plan and the fulfillment of their vision.